Now, as Nigeria's economy bites harder, financial experts have urged that there is also need for Nigerians to cut unnecessary expenses while also exploring ways of making more money. While they note that Nigeria's economic potential is constrained by many structural issues, including inadequate infrastructure, tariff and non-tariff barriers to trade, they advise that cutting costs will go a long way in easing the pain associated with the present economic doldrum. They also noted that to save money, the principles are the same as always in a tough or easygoing economy, adding that saving is not only about putting money in the bank, but also about lifestyle. They highlight a list of tips as helpful, which include proper budgeting, tracking of expenses, and making necessary cuts and prioritizing needs like housing, utilities, food, healthcare over entertainment, and other frivolities. Joining us to discuss the economic realities in Nigeria and ways to navigate through the financial doldrum we find ourselves is a financial expert, Oluseyo Owotoro. You're welcome. I want to say thank you very much for joining us here on Newsday. All right, to get us.
Thank you, Aaron, and thank you for having me.
To get it started, more than ever before, financial literacy is looking like a very, very serious issue with the situation Nigerians have found themselves. But sometimes reality and practicality are almost far apart. For you, as a Nigerian, looking introspectively, how can we begin to probably shape our mindsets towards money, savings, and the whole economy to help us at least get a soft landing?
Okay, thank you, Aaron. If we go to basic economics, you find that earnings people earn, all right, they consume and then they save. There's a theory in economics that says that consumption plus investment and all of that. Now, where people don't have enough, all right, to save, there's a problem. So the first step really is to getting more people out of poverty, such that when you have a critical mass of people who have come out of poverty, then you can begin to have more investments. So as people earn, they consume less than they earn, and then they have more to save. So the first thing really is about economic boost and ensuring that we can get more people out of poverty. Now, there can be several conversations as to how to do that. One thing is education, all right? Because people can only do so much, they can only contribute so much based on what they have taken in. So education is critical. We have over 20 million children out of school. So the question is, when those children grow up, all right, what sort of economic activity can they have to be able to earn enough to save? So the first critical thing is education and empowering people to be able to contribute significantly to the economy, thereby earning that kind of income that can leave enough for them to save. I hope I've answered your question, Aaron. Thank you.
Well, I'd like us to shift our attention to the capital market. How is the economic situation in Nigeria affecting, impacting the capital market right now?
Okay. So when the new government came in, just like every other sector of the economy, the capital market is not immune to the vagaries of the economy. The removal of fuel subsidy, the unification of the exchange rates created some significant enthusiasm in the investing public and also in foreign investors. So we saw quite a lot of activities in the capital market. It was quite bullish, all right, since the new government came in. But what has sort of tempered is the fact that inflation has continued to run away, so to say. The illiquidity in the forex market So you find that because of those two factors, the kind of drive we should have seen ordinarily in the capital market, we're not reaping it, so to say. So like I said, like every other sector, the capital market is not immune. In fact, the capital market is supposed to be a barometer as to how well the economy is doing. So when the economy is doing well, you find that the capital market also does well, because it's supposed to reflect the confidence in the market is actually what makes people to invest. So when there's lack of confidence or confidence is reduced, you find that that also impacts negatively on the capital market. But overall, if you look at Nigeria's market relative to other markets, I think the Nigerian exchange has done pretty well. I hope I have my figures right, about 13%, better than some other markets elsewhere in the world.
All right, you mentioned that the Nigeria Stock Exchange is doing pretty well, but we are not seeing too many public offerings coming in. What's the reason, and how is it affecting the markets?
Okay, you find, I think in the last, between 2022 and to date, if you look at globally, there's been a reduction in IPOs, about 50% reduction in IPOs. So it's not really, it's not limited to the Nigerian capital market. Since COVID, the activities around capital markets have been a bit disrupted. So it's not strange. But coming home, you'll find that one of the reasons companies come to the market to raise money is because they want to expand their businesses, or you have new companies coming to list their securities because they want to raise additional cash, all right, or additional capital to improve their businesses. So when you find that confidence in the economy is not really there, the question is, if those, how many companies really are willing to expand? We find a number of companies actually delisting, all right, because of their economic situation. So fewer companies are coming because the economy cannot really support their aspirations. But more importantly is that the few companies that have raised money in our capital market have done so basically through very short-term financing, commercial papers and bonds. Why is this so? When you have a situation where people cannot project far into the future, all right, equity investments is what you call patient capital. It is actually the riskiest type of investment when you compare it to, say, commercial paper and bonds, because it's more long-term. And when people cannot see far into the horizon, or rather they have very limited confidence, all right, in terms of where the economy will be, they would rather do short-term investments, which is why we've seen quite a number of companies coming to raise commercial papers and bonds, notwithstanding the fact that equity investment is actually probably the cheapest type of, cheapest way of raising capital, because it's patient capital. You only pay dividends when the company makes money. But for bonds and commercial papers, whether or not you are making money, you have to pay interest to bondholders. Also, you find that the time to market is also a challenge. When companies want to raise money through equity, or it takes a longer period than if they were to raise it through commercial paper, and there is a lot of regulatory hurdles to cross when you are raising money through equity. I think when you look at it, so a combination of all these factors is what is making us not to see so many activities in the capital market. But when you also look at it, the fact that Nigeria is one of the biggest markets for cryptocurrency, all right? So people are looking for safety. People are just putting money in crypto or in dollars, and then they wait for, without doing anything, they sort of are making returns. So when you consider all of these factors, you see that they have a negative effect on the capital market.
Well, financial expert Mr. Oluseyo Owotoro, thank you so much for joining us on Newsday.